Hello everyone and welcome to League of Europe F1 23 here, and we're here for round 10 of the Division 3 Championship of Season 11, and we're here in Belgium for a sprint round, and that means we have a reverse championship order to start the sprint with, so no qualifying. We're going to get straight into it and we're going to get ready. My name is QVR Verstappen and I'll be taking you through it solo this time. 19 drives on the grids. Hopefully we can get that all sorted as the grid is being set now. Just to run you through the championship standings as of right now, we have Camke leading with 212 points after 9 rounds, 32 ahead of MCR, who is second with 180. Ryan B, Steban, Matt, and Bosnia all following very close, within 9 points of each other, but quite a ways off, with Ryan B on 133, then 127, 125, and 124 respectively. So a very close battle there. Maybe with a good run towards the end and some bad luck for the top 2, there is still a chance for them to get themselves involved in championship battle, but not here today. Obviously, as it is a sprint round, as I mentioned, we will have a reverse championship order, which means that of the people that are here, Energetics will be starting on pole position, with Serial Killer following in behind, in third actually, because Ibo will be in second, so Serial Killer does have the better result out of the two. Mr. Pearl in fourth, I'm pretty sure. I'm just gonna check that as well. Yeah, he will be. So it's could be interesting, and obviously Camke and MCR are going to come from the back of the grid from 18th, 19th. Obviously Spa is a bit easier to overtake than it was in Singapore in the earlier sprint round. We saw a lot of chaos there, but I imagine we're going to see some more here today. 8 laps as a sprint, and then 22 laps as a full race. The strategy could be very interesting because you only get 1 medium and hard set for 1 medium and 1 hard set each for the race. So strategy will mean you'll probably have to use the softs because it is still a 2-stop in the actual race. As for the sprint, there's no mandatory stop, so they can just do 1 stint and ride it home. Obviously that makes it a little bit easier potentially. So we're going to load into it. Obviously we'll have a formation lap. Tire location can be important, but I think it's just a matter of how many softs you get. So let's see how that's going to play out as well for the drivers involved. And yeah, we'll be in for an interesting race. I'd imagine Energetics from the front could make a good show for winning the sprint. Obviously a very short one because the track is quite long, so 8 laps is very minimal. Let's see if he can hold on to it. I think he's quick enough for it. He's just not finished a lot of times, so let's see how that's gonna go. I think someone like Flip is also high up on the grid. Could make a show for it. Sway Ross, I think, I'd imagine. And we have a wet sprint here at least. This could be very interesting because the drivers will not know the weather for the actual race, so it's a bit of a gamble. Are you gonna stick to your normal setup, or are you gonna just gamble on the rain and then maybe sacrifice the actual race for the sprint? Drivers will be definitely stressing now. I'm seeing intermediates in the box of the Red Bull, if you've seen on the bottom right of the screen here, and that will mean we'll probably stay with the Inters for the remainder of the sprint. We're going to see how that's going to go. So this is going to make it a little bit more complicated for certain drivers. Let's see, as we have the formation lap. I imagine everyone will be on a set of intermediates, and that is the case, as we can see. As I'm hearing a lot of engine revving. I will adjust the audio a little bit, because from racing to commentating it's a little bit different where I want it to be. I'm gonna check if this is okay, going on board with the Ferrari. got a little bit different as well. Apologies for the quick adjustment, but need to check that. And as it's 8 laps, this could be very interesting. I'm going to see, obviously, from the back of the grid how drivers like CamK and MCR obviously will be in the championship battle, and there's a lot of cars to overtake, so it's going to be quite important to keep your nose clean in the first place. Maybe pick up a few points and then make your way towards the front in the actual race. That's roughly what I recommend, but I feel like with the rain there might be a bit more of a pace differential potentially with certain drivers. More chance for mistakes as well, I think. So I think we could see them go quite high up in this race already. Obviously, there's a few quicker drivers in the mid pack as well. Mentioned Swayros, IT Crack is usually one of the quicker ones. But also the likes of the Alpines as well. They're still ahead of MCR and KMK, so this could be an interesting one here. Notably at the front we have the likes of Ibo, Serial Killer, Mr. Pro. They're not usually the quickest on the grid, but they see the chance to get a good result in, and I think they're going to try to take that. As hopefully you don't see too many big crashes, but in Division 1 we have one where it even brought out a red flag for the first time I've ever seen it on the reduced setting we normally have. So who knows, that something like that could happen as well. It was kind of a Spa 98-esque incident for the oldies under us. They all might remember or might have seen it. But there's also a huge crash there. But hopefully all drivers come through this grid unscathed and can race nicely and properly. So let's see how that's going to go. As most of the drivers now lining up. I've seen Energetics try and get it stopped properly, and he does that pretty well. Flip doesn't, however. Get himself disqualified and put it back a little bit further. We're going to see this is going to go. Just waiting for the 5 red lights to come on for the sprint race here. Top 10 score points. And I'll be on offer here today. 3, 4, 5 red lights. Alright, and away we go. And we've seen Serial Killer with a very good start in P3 already. Closing up towards the back of the top 2. We're going to see how this goes. Swift as well, very good starts. Ibo quickly up into turn 1, we've gone too deep, so he's off track. So probably going to fall back quite a ways. He's still in the top 5 there, but falling back a little bit. Energetics holding on, but Serial Killer is right on the back here. Everything looks relatively clean. We're going to see how that continues up. Oh, Rouge and Radion down towards Lacombe, obviously the main overtaking spot. Who's got the better straight line speed? It looks like we have an incident behind Slayer going round, and we have a VSC already with a free wide action here already. Hopefully they can sort it out without getting any penalties. Hopefully with close action there. Yeah, what a bit of an okay start. Let's see what happens to Slayer. If we can figure that out. The camera angle wants to be a little bit better. Just scrolling through as well to see if we have any damaged cars. That might be for the case for MCR. I'm not too sure. I might be wrong. I can't quite see it properly. It looks like the right end plate for the Spaniard is gone, so it's not going to be ideal for him. Is he going to stick it out and just try and stay with the pack, hopefully pick a few points for Chaos, or is he going to pit and decide to do something different anywhere else? It doesn't look like there's any visual damage. Good start for both the Alpines, especially Mats. He's all the way up into P8 actually, gaining 7 positions. Great start for him. Apart from Swip as well, coming from P6 all the way up to P2 already. So those guys will be happy with the start here today. It's this VSC second quite its time. And a little bit of underfeeling here as we have a driver for Energetics for speeding under this VSC. Swip is immediately smelling his chance. Energetics having them issues and a crashing behind with Serial and Mr. Puro going side by side into that corner. It's not going to work. And both of them are into the wall in front. We have actually Energetics dropping further and further back. And with that driver, he's going to have to serve that very quickly. So we have another VSC and you can't serve it under the VSC. So let's hope he doesn't do that. Smart enough to know that. So yeah, he does stay out for now. So very chaotic, and this means Swayros is now up into P2. Coming all the way from P9, more cars with damage in the pits. MCR, there's about 5 cars in. Very chaotic actually in the end. 2 VFCs even within a lap coming out. And we now have Swip and Sway leading the way. Very, very old start here. Both AlphaTauris, that's going to hurt Serial Killer a lot because he's going to have to double stack behind a car that's already pitting. But we have more green flag racing now. Hopefully it stays a while now. Jav also up to P4, he'll be happy with that. He's had an enjoyable day talking to him. But we're going to see how that's going to continue now. Steven up into P8. Ibo is struggling here. Coming through Lacombe and Malmedy. Gone off track on the exit there. And he's going to let drivers by, I'd imagine. Yeah, he is. So he's going to rejoin in 14th. We're seeing James head with a mistake here. And also coming out behind Ibo now. Dropping back to 14th. Energetics has gone round here as well. We've seen all these mistakes constantly. And it's turning out to be a very bad day, which had a lot of prospect, but it's not quite paid off. Matt's also potentially with a mistake. He's dropping back for the field. He's down to 10th. Does he have damage? Yeah, that's something's going on because I'm confused. Just trying to catch what's going on with Matt. He's slowing down. He must have some sort of damage or something because otherwise I don't know why you're going so slow. In the meantime, it meant that Camke is all the way up into P8 already because it just kept his nose clean and drivers ahead are making mistakes. Seen Jav with cracks side by side. We saw a big crash in Australia for the two of them. Jav going very deep though. And cutting the corner, getting a 5-second penalty here. Yep, that's going to put him back. Scamke sets the fastest lap of the race. Crack is now down the inside of the Aston Martin here. And Steban coming through here as well. Side by side they go. Steban have a big moment there actually on exit. But keeping it out of the wall, and that's important. Yeah, Matt coming into the pits now. Energetics getting to serve his driver as well. And yeah, damage for the Alpine. It's going to put him further back. So the top 10 now. Basically every driver without any damage because Steban and Jav have just collided here as well. And we have another VSC. Now full course safety car actually. The Alpine and the Aston Martin now without a wing. And it's just going for battle wars at this point. Flip has left the session. Let's hope he can rejoin. Don't know what that's exactly about. I don't imagine people are going to stop unless you have damage like Steven or Jav, but yeah, we'll see how that's going to pay out. Actually, the drivers near the back will be happy with that after their early issues. They're going to be back up into the pack and maybe have a chance of scoring a point or two and give themselves a higher position to start from the full race. One driver has not made mistakes either. Swip at the front, and I'm quite impressed actually here today. He is quite low on fuel, so the safety car will help him. Don't know how low he's going to be yellow still. We'll see. I'm gonna see how this is gonna pay out. I'm not quite sure. And hopefully Flip can rejoin. See if there's anything in the chat because there's a lot of chaos here. I can't find anything just yet. Obviously every driver is still in here. Jav just coming off track there. I imagine Steven and Jav are gonna go into the pits, but I imagine everyone else stays out here. I'd be very surprised if someone goes in. Maybe if you're at the back, but other than that, Flip has rejoined, so hopefully that's going to be putting him back into P3 and all good and well. So yeah, Steban, Jav coming in, imagine for a new set of inters for both, and a new front wing. Funnily enough, I'm pretty sure they're in a party together, so I'd imagine that's going to be a pretty interesting conversation there. So we're side by side. So they're going to fall back quite far here. Steban down into 12th, 13th. Just still within a shot of the points, definitely. With his speed, usually, I think there's a good chance. Jav down to 15th. Imagine we should be on the safety car until the end of lap 5, I'd imagine. Synergetics has put in another set of new inters, which not sure why. Giving them more track position. So we're gonna have a maximum of 3 laps of green flag racing. Well, let's see how that's gonna go. And just checking the position change because they're all over the place. His flip has now... Has he gone round? Yes, he has. I'm not quite sure what he's trying to do here. That's the wrong way out. Okay, now he's spinning around. He's down to 17th. Okay, well... That's going to make him lose 12 positions. And if you just look at the... the positions changed, Axel stayed the same. Funnily enough, everyone else has... apart from Mats as well now. He's only lost 1 position. Everyone else has gained or lost more than 4 positions from the starting position. Cam K gaining 15, Ryan B gaining 11. At the back we have Zero Killer losing 15 and Energetics losing 18. And we have had, including VSC and safety car, I think about 1 lap of actual green flag racing. So this is quite the entertaining watch and a bit of a lottery as such, with all the mistakes coming into play. But just rewards the people that are staying and keeping it clean on track. As, yeah, my suspicions will be confirmed, I think, here. Is that the safety car will not go into the pits, and we'll have another lap of safety car driving, and then we're going to go back in to race for about 3 green flag laps. I'm very curious to see if Swip can hold on to the lead. Obviously not one of the quickest drivers, but he seems to be comfortable enough in the wet, in these conditions anyway, that he could have a go at maybe keeping it on the podium. I think that's roughly where he could get himself into if he keeps it clean. He didn't seem too slow compared to Swayros and Kraken behind either. So I think the position he's in right now is very favourable for him. Meantime, Flip has decided to put on a new set of intermediates, potentially having a wing change as well. I'm not too sure, but at least the fresher tires on the grid now. So I hope to see him make use of that. Obviously, that's a slight advantage for Steban now as well, and Jav as well. They do have fresher tires, but how much is going to matter, I'm not too sure. But obviously it's a long track, so 1 lap difference can already mean quite a bit here. I'm gonna see how that's gonna go. It's a very iconic track here in Spa. No, some very interesting moments in Italy as well. But we should see some good action here, hopefully. And obviously this begs the question, what have the drivers done for the race itself in terms of setup? I've brought up this issue earlier. Because if they've gone for a wet setup and it's dry in the actual race, in the big race, this could be a very interesting scenario where people are running a very high or very low downforce compared to each other. The safety car will be in this lap. Which is going to cause some very interesting situations on track, I reckon. Let's see how Swip's going to approach this. He's keeping the pace quite high. Obviously, will be a bit throttle limited until the safety car's actually into the pits, but at 140 kilometers an hour. Make sure it doesn't bunch up too much. Let's see, still pretty long run, obviously. So let's see, 150 even. He's in no bit to wait around and watch how this plays out. He just wants to go as soon as possible, I think. Let's see, he's still weaving. Can obviously run it up. And he's braking. It looks like he is going for it. I think here off the exit. Not quite. He's waited out. And now he's gone. And I think it's good timing from Kamke there. Kamke's absolutely timed that to perfection. And he's absolutely rushed himself into the first position there. If that was before the line, obviously he should give it back. But I don't think it was. And he's got himself up into P1. Sway Ross has dropped all the way back to 12. There's more chaos. I think Jav, Musapuro got some damage potentially. Slayer has gone into the pits for damage. And now with Kamke and Crack at the front, first and second, a bit away from the pack. Here comes Crack down the inside of the Red Bull. Backside of it though, Kamke seeming to have a bit more straight line speed. Axel and James more fighting in behind there. Axel getting through there. MCR as well up into P9 past Ibo. With Steban potentially going past here as well into Ravage. Using the ERS to get alongside the Alfa Romeo later on the brakes. And Ibo running off track there. It's going to allow Steban to keep that T10 now. Yeah, if that was all legal and all fair, and obviously I didn't quite see if it was or not. I just saw the Red Bull appear out of nowhere. Then Kamke's absolutely done a master stroke and himself into P1. Remind you, he has started last in this race. And this is not... Obviously, his pace seems pretty good, but this is not all due to pace. This is just to people not keeping it on the track ahead of him or getting involved in incidents. As MCR's got himself past Steban now into P9. Axel seems pretty quick here in the wet here as well. So he got himself past Bosnia earlier on this lap, and it looks like he wants to go on the attack even more. Ryan B and Swift just not too far out either. And Harry and Work holding up the rest of this train. So you keep an eye on the top two as well. Crack going very deep actually into the chicane. Not quite getting the exit in. Having to wait that out. Seen Kamke with the fastest lap of the race. More close action as Ryan B's got the exit on Swip. And he's going to go towards the outside of Lesource. But Swip seems to have more straight line speed there. And Axel is trying to avoid both of them. Goes too deep into turn 1 and he's going to have to rejoin behind them. Potentially Bosnia as well is going to get himself involved. Let's see. Ryan B still on the back of Swip, but he's going to have to wait till after Radion to get that one done. MCR's dropped back a few positions now. He's down to 11th. So there's a lot of action I can't all keep up with, but Ryan B is trying to go for it. Once this camera useful, I'm going to see how this is going to go. As Ryan B sent it down the inside of Swip. Still side by side through the rest of the Lacombe, hitting the back of him, and Axel wants to get through. Axel's going to get through, running outside. And now he's looking for a move on Swip as well. Sends it down the inside, keeps his nose in there. Keeps his nose in there. This could be a great move for the Greek. And down the inside, and now completing the move into No Name. Great move from Axel, and he now can chase down his fellow countryman in the Ferrari now. More action in behind as Steven gets himself down the inside of James. James backing out of that one. And now, actually, he got himself back up the inside somehow. But not quite working out. But impressive nonetheless. Bosnia Swip fighting it out here as well. I forgot the corner name. Bosnia with the switchback here. Running out of Stavolo now. And I think he's got that one done. Steban, Ryan B side by side here. You want to be careful around here. We saw earlier how that could go, because that curb is not fun on the exit. And James is going to use that to get past the Red Bull here as well. Top two have absolutely disappeared in the front. With 6 seconds down to Harry Noir. And that one is getting chased down by Axel now. Switching back as Harry has gone too deep. Axel going around the outside. And easy move there for the AlphaTauri. Impressive driving here for the AlphaTauri. And he's done that perfectly. More yellow flags. I'm not quite sure. There's some mess in behind there. So more side-by-side action. Haas gone too deep. That is Swip. With Sway Ross retiring from the session in the pits now. As we are on to the final lap. This race has gone by like a very weird one actually. It's still some fighting for the last point swing positions here. I'm going to see Steban potentially go for a move on Bosnia for P5 here as well. Is sends it down the side? No, backs out of it, and probably a smart decision there. Seeing what this all brings on offer. Both Dutchies here behind Jav, as Energetic has gone too deep there and struggling to keep it back on track. Steban has now got past Bosnia into Ravage. Into P5 he goes. Good recovery here. Could still potentially get Harry work. Doesn't seem overly quick. At the front, Kamke is driven away. As James has now got a penalty, that's going to drop him outside the points potentially here for the sprint. As Steven is now making a move on Harry Wark, trying to get that one done. Down the inside. Here now into turn 13. And I think he's got that one done quite easily. And Harry Wark might have to watch out in behind. And Kamke has easily got himself free off Crack, potentially using a bit more ERS. Just try and get away. He's done that very well. He's made the absolute best of a bad situation. And about the situation starting last, and he's done that perfectly so far. We're seeing Mats, Ryan B and MCR fighting each other out for P8. Gonna go on board with Kamke, who's gonna win the sprint race, pick up another 12 points here. Potentially 13 if he keeps that fastest lap, which he will, I reckon. Kraken P2, and it looks like Axel's gonna finish P3. Seeing more action in behind here. With Mats and MCR still side by side coming for the last chicane. Seeing more yellow flags as well. As James is now dropping outside the point. So, yeah, a very chaotic sprint race here. We still have 22 laps of racing to go after this as well. But great drive from Kamke, great drive from Crack, and very good as well from Axel, I think. As Slayer takes away that 13th point for Kamke. And make sure no one gets it. As he gets the fastest lap of the race. As we're running you through the results of the sprint race, and look at where everyone started that finished high up. None of them in the top 9, apart from Swip in the top 10. It's practically reversed itself already. Kamke winning ahead of Crack, Axel with P3, and Steban, Hardenwerk, Bosnia, Ryan B, Mats, MCR, and Swip running out the points bank positions. James just outside of it. Serial, then Jav, Mustapuro, Flip, Slayer, who gets the fastest lap, so no one gets the point, as he did not finish in the top 10. Ibo in 17th, then Energetics in 18th, and Sueros DNFing in 19th. He's going to have to come from the back here today in the 22 lap long race here. As we have a seemingly dry race here, actually. And that's obviously going to raise the question what setup everyone is, what strategy everyone's going to go for. So anyone who's got a wet setup on the car now might be kicking themselves and seeing themselves drop down the grid. In terms of strategy, as said before, I think there's only one medium and one hard for everyone available, even with the sprint being dry. I think that's just how the game works. A bunch of softs though. So we'll definitely see those appear somewhere in the race. I'd imagine we're going to see most drivers go for 2 sets of softs and 1 set of medium. Potentially a set of hards getting involved as well. But maybe someone will surprise me not use the softs whatsoever. I don't know how you're going to do that. And if there's any more rain to come, then this could be a very interesting race as well. I don't think there is, but I've not seen anything of it anyway. As we're going to go onto the formation lap, let's have a look who has done what in terms of tyre strategies. And yeah, as suspected, a lot of softs here. A lot of mediums as well, unsurprisingly. We're seeing quite a variation there. With Kamke in P1 on softs, then it's Crack in P2 on the mediums. Axel on softs in P3, and Esteban on P4 mediums. Hardenwerk and Bosnia switched that around with Harry on the mediums, then Bosnia softs, Ryan B on softs, 7th, Matt and 8th on mediums. P9 in MCR softs, he's going to have to come through the field a little bit after his early damage in the sprint. And Swip in 10th on the mediums as well as James and 0 on P11 and 12, Jav on soft and P13. Then his Ultimate Pro in 14th on the mediums, as well as Flip in 15th. And then the last 4, Slayer, Ibo, Energetics and Swayros, are all on the red soft compound tire. So they want to make up positions and see where they end up. Ignore the AWS strategies. Obviously, it is still a mandatory 2-stop in this, as that could provide some interesting strategy work here. And obviously, we've got a little bit of a mixed grid. I wouldn't expect usually Axel to be this high up, for example. So let's see if he can keep his car there. Maybe it's just a very good track for him. And obviously nice to see some different names up there. And obviously MCR, if he wants to salvage something, something's going to have to happen to Cam K at this race, because he's gained another 10 points that last race, which makes the gap 42 now, down to MCR. So this fan's going to have to find something in this race, and Cam K is probably not going to have the best race should MCR want to end up gaining here. Looks like Cam K himself is going to want to try and extend the gap as much as possible to make it as easy for himself in the remaining races of the year. There's like 4 rounds after this: France, Hungary, Qatar and Kota. All normal rounds as well, so this is the second and last sprint round. This could be, a chance for everyone to still shine here today. So coming towards the end of the formation lap, let's see who's gonna take home the victory here today. And imagine with Kamke's pace so far, it seems likely that he's got a good chance at it. But I won't discount anyone as of so far. We've not seen anything in the dry, so it's going to be a bit of a change for people to get used to as well. And the pace differentials can be very, very different all across the grid here today. So they all line up. Let's see who's going to take home the Belgian Grand Prix here in Division 3, Veloe. This is roughly the best camera angle I can get. One of the Haas cars still waiting on. I think that's Sweat potentially. And we're going to wait for the 5 red light. Come on. So we got to hide the UI. 2, 3, 4, and 5 red lights. And away we go. And it looks like Kamke's got a good start. Let's see. Crack is trying to get alongside, but he's going to have to wait down towards the comp. Potentially Axel is still down the inside here though. And the Greek trying to make his moves early on. Not quite making it on the exit though, as they all head up the hill down towards Eau Rouge and Radion. And Kamke's got a sizable gap, but Crack is using, and Crack wants to get involved on the race lead here. Now Kamke is trying to defend here. Is the McLaren going to be able to get himself alongside? To the outside he goes. Not quite deep enough there, McLaren backs out. So all funnel through Lacombe and Malmedy here. Ryan B under pressure from MCR, who's trying to make up positions. The McLaren on the inside of the Red Bull, getting a little bit of contact on the rear end, trying to get through there. But it doesn't look like he's able to do so. Trying to get down the outside there of No Name was not quite easy to do so either. There's a Burris, Sarah Keller fighting in the way. So Slay and James. It looks all relatively clean so far. I don't see much from in behind. I think James might be having damage potentially. No, doesn't look like it. Just not having the best start here in the Mercedes. We have more side-by-side action with Jav going a bit too deep into Lefagna. Remember the corner name. And he's dropping all the way down to 18th now, just ahead of Ibo. Not the race he was hoping to start with. But relatively clean. Let's have a look at the position changes. And we see Mr. Pearl, Slayer and Swayros having gained 3 positions. The big losers being Jav and James, down 4 and 5 positions. And James is falling back even further. Now his teammates gone through. We've seen Bosnian and Hardenmark fighting it out here as well. As well as Ryan B now getting very close on the exit of the chicane. So time intervals, as always on lap 2, are a little bit messed up. We've seen Jav in the pits potentially having some damage, not too sure. And I think this is all gonna funnel through itself pretty easily. Cam K's got about 5 seconds lead. It looks like Crack is very quick on the straights though, at least from what I can tell here. Actually no, it's not. It's just the gap messing up, apologies. I think Cam K might actually be the one quick on the straight, and he's got a gap immediately. Just showing the season, improving constantly, and just get himself acclimatized everywhere pretty easily, and just making the right decisions. Just put himself in a good position. Ryan B getting past Harry Noirk, and the Ferrari is going to be under pressure from MCR right away on the exit of No Name down towards Poolholm. Is he going to dare to do it? Harry Noirk defending, meaning MCR is going to have to wait a little bit longer. They both picked up a 3-second time penalty here. Spania trying to go down the outside here of Lafagna. Let's see, around the outside. Good move from the Spaniard there and gets himself through into P7. He's got Ryan B, Kamke's teammate, to chase down now after. Let's see if he's going to be able to do that convincingly. Crack's got himself back in range of Kamke a little bit for sector 2. Maybe it is actually more downforce he is running compared to Kamke. As Harnoa keeps losing positions. The next one is Matt. We have yellow flags. I think that's Mr. Pro who's gone round. Coming through Blanchard. That's a very weird spot to be round. No safety cars, no VSCs. This Crack sets the fastest lap of the race. Mr. Pro is dropping down to 18th position. Just checking Hearts. It's been for Jaff. So you see Sway Ross, both Mercs actually getting involved with Slayer here. Down to turn 1, James with a very deep sending move. Sway Ross got to get a better exit, I think, though, and stay ahead here. The DRS will be enabled this lap. Obviously, in real life, it's now lap 2, but that's not implemented in the game just yet. As we see Steban go for a move on Axel. He's up at the P3. He's got Crack and Kamke to chase after now, 1.5 seconds. It's a bit of a gap to go for, but sure he could do it. As Mr. First going around once again, coming up, running on. And he is not having the best start, is he? After the initial one being too good, but not now. Jaff is getting another wing change here onto mediums, and he's going to be quite the ways down already. I'm going to have to hope for a safety car, I'd imagine. Crack following through Kamke very closely here, which suggests to me that, yeah, Kamke is running very low downforce here. Crack maybe a lot higher. So we'll see that probably on the straight here, because 3/10 is enough to probably slipstream down towards the bus stop. And we're seeing it happen, but slowly. Crack had to use some ERS for it on the exit. But here he's going to go towards the outside of the bus stop. Not quite yet, waiting it out. Maybe that's a smart move here, not to get involved in this chicane. Keep that DRS on, and he's going to get close. And I think down towards Lacombe we could see a move from McLaren. Try and get through. The softs are already going to be on their clipping point at this rate. Don't really last long, especially with, well, the track being this long. It's going to throw some variables there. I'm going to see the mediums be a very good tire here, I think. With Crack using the DRS and ERS now to try and make a move on Kamke. Kamke not really defending. McLaren into P1 here. Again, that move done before the corner is even arrived. Axel still following through Steban. In P3 and 4, he has kept his pace from the wet conditions, so it might just be a good track for Axel. Just a very good showing right now this weekend. Let's hope I haven't jinxed that for him. Good start here for the Greek driver for the AlphaTauris. Let's hope he can continue that. Currently on the softs, it's dropped off Bosnia here. Together with Steban, obviously. Makes it a very interesting race. I can even imagine we could see people starting to come in, because Kamke is struggling to keep up with Crack here. 8/10 behind. Obviously, the downforce difference could make a difference in that. I've seen how quickly Kamke is going to catch back up to Crack on this all flat out straight. Obviously, the way it might not have been fully flat, it definitely is now, and yeah, he's already gained about 3/10 just by closing in a little bit quicker. Steven and Axel following through, but it doesn't look like they are catching the top two. Crack seems to just taken off. I think he's in a very effectively here, although he's gonna need to keep the gap should he not want to get re-overtaken by the Red Bull. Top two currently just a little bit quicker than everyone else. James and Swip fighting each other for P10 here. See, this is gonna pin out. James right now ahead, but he's not going to have the DRS coming down towards the com. And I think Swip and Swayros could have a chance at overtaking him. Especially Swayros got a good run here, I think. Seeing more close action up ahead as Matt's getting past MCR. On board with Swayros though. Then the outside of Swip. James has kept that ahead actually. Doesn't have much downforce then, I think. But the Mercedes of Swayros has got through on Swip very nicely, very cleanly there. Good move into P11 he goes. And MCR and Matt were fighting it out. I think MCR has kept himself ahead, but low on the ERS means that he's not finding it comfortable out here. And we're going to see that's going to develop because he's going to have to do something. Potentially, this is a good lap to pit. We're going to have to see if he decides to. Camke decides to as well. Again, he hasn't been that close this lap. Well, he's a little bit closer this time around. So even down towards the bus stop, he's going to be close enough. Look at the gaining speed the Red Bull has on IRT Crack. But lifting off so early, I don't think even that was necessary. But maybe to save some ERS here. Though he saved more, I think, being on the brake a little bit. Yeah, staying out, everyone is in the top 10. Everyone wanting to continue on these tires so far. Just gonna go back towards the front here. Scamke this time gonna be close enough to make any move on Crack. Does he even want to? It's another question. 3 seconds down towards Steven now gives him a little bit of a buffer to work with. He's not even using the DRS he gets, as James has got another time penalty as well as he did in the sprint very early on as well. Mats this time around looks to want to get past MCR completely, and he definitely has. Steven was under pressure from Axel, but kept him off. With the Mercs swapping positions now. Swayros into P10. Having a bit of a moment there, but keeping it on the track. He's going to have a long way to catch, because look at the gaps you have between MCR and Harnoer, for example. 4.2 seconds. On lap 6, that's pretty significant. Obviously, if you have DRS, it's going to be so much easier to just keep gaining time and then you keep getting ERS, which can gain you even more time. So, yeah, definitely an advantage. I'd imagine we're going to see drives into the best this lap. I'd be very surprised if not to. Scamke wants to get closer and closer to the back of IRT Crack. Ecos Mats wants to get through Ryan B, it looks like. He was very close, but not anymore so now. Let's see, Camke staying out. Let's see, at least someone of these guys will pit. Yeah, Ryan B has decided it's enough, and I'm going to go for the undercut. I'll see what tire he's going to go on to. So head on to lap 7. The Red Bull is going to go to another set of softs. And at least I'll make the warm-up easy. I've seen him behind Slayer and Energetics going in as well. We'll see what tires they go on to. Obviously not quite as prominent in the race right now. But with an undercut they might get themselves to do so. Axel's going for a move on Steban. And easily so into P3. It looks like Bosnian wants to benefit here as well. Deep into turn 7 here. Giving each other enough space. Steban having a better run on the exit though. Keeping that position for now. It might get Mats involved once again. He's on the mediums obviously as well as Steban is. So they're going to have a little bit of an advantage compared to the soft runners right now. I'm gonna use Slayer and Energetics have gone onto a set of mediums each. We're gonna see if Ryan B with this undercut can get himself maybe into a third position on track at least. Once this is all done and dusted in terms of pitting. So Kamke this lap around nearly dropped out of DRS as Axel's picked up a 3-second time penalty. It's gonna put him a little bit into jeopardy. Yeah, it's gonna have to clear some gaps to try and minimize the damage done by the penalty. Matt's once again close behind on Bosnia. Bosnia having a bit more sideline speed. Just keeping him alive. Kamke continuing on for another lap. Axel seems to have gone in. So is Bosnia as well as MCR. And I imagine Sveiros here as well. No, he's gonna wait it out one more here. As we're going to see a few different tire choices here. Seeing softs for Bosnia and MCR. And mediums for Axel here at the front. Flip and Ibo making their way into the pits as well. But seeing Ryan B has already got 1.7 seconds on Axel here. And the undercut seems to have worked. I think it's a smart call from Ryan B. If he's quick enough, they can stay ahead of this pack. Even on the older tires. He's been an absolutely brilliant call here, and getting himself into a net podium position is going to be very useful. Flip in the meantime has gone to a set of softs with Ibo onto a set of mediums. Refer is all a little bit spread out. Kamke going on for 8 laps is quite surprising to me. But I guess as long as he's in DRS, he can just shorten his latest stints, making him quicker on those. Just try and maintain the advantage he's going to get from the DRS of Crack right now. As long as his tires are kind of okay to drive. It's not too much harm in doing it. This time I think he's losing DRS potentially. Or it's just going to go into the pits, and I imagine he could do that. He does have DRS. This time he does go in. And let's see where he's going to be compared to his teammate, who's already in the back of Serial and Swip here. Kamke in. I imagine Swirls we could see in as well. Yep. He's gone into the pits on board with Ryan B. Sends it down the inside of Serial Killer. Ronnie outside of the second part of the bus stop is going to put him into P9. Serial Killer's backed out of that one actually to go into the pits from the mediums. Mozabur picking up with the 3-second time penalty as well. But let's see, look how much time Ryan B has gained on Kamke. They were so far behind before, now he's nearly going to be in his DRS by the end of this straight, I think. Because Swip is... oh, he's very quick on the straight actually. It's both Alpine swap positions. Matt's into P2. Getting past Steven. It looks like Ryan B is going to get past Swip here. Yeah, he's going to be about a second behind his teammate. Obviously his teammate is going to have much fresher tires now. And 2 laps might not be much normally, as Bosnia and Axel get very close, get a little bit of contact there on the exit as well. In a little bit deep into every corner, Steven picks up 3-second time penalty, and this loses Axel's 2 positions because the MCR is going down the outside. Axel getting on the grass and therefore understeering into the side of MCR. They put him a little bit further back. Just, at this point, probably best to just drive it calmly, sit in the DRS of these two. Wait for their tires to go off and then try and make your moves. Yeah, Ryan B, very good call I think. And now he's got 3 seconds on Bosnia. I think he's going to be very happy with that. MCR is not happy with where he's at, and he's going to want to go past Bosnia. And both they're catching the back of Swip. In the meantime, we have Hayati Crack coming into the pits. That's going to be interesting to see where he comes out. So it's Steban. Looks like Bosnia is going to want to make a move down the outside here. Into the chicane. Going pretty deep though. He's going to make the corner. FCR's got through here as well. So Swip has... and no, he's just fallen back. So Ryan B set the fastest lap of the race. At the 45.5 there. So Crack has come out. Still ahead of Ryan B. This is actually astonishing. I think some Great pace here by AT Crack. On the fresher tire now. And could probably do another set of softs at the end. With Kamke still having to go to a set of mediums or hards. Crack looks like he could try and win this race. I think he's got the pace for it. We'll have to see. MCR, Bosnia are still very close together. These guys 4 seconds behind the top 3 now. And the top 3, so FCR just went for the move as they want to switch away. FCR getting past Bosnia into Ravage. Good move there from the McLaren. Bosnia seemingly struggling a little bit. These guys all caught up behind Harry Noirk now. Kamke looking eagerly for a way through. Crack has wanted to get a way through here as well. Kamke down the outside. Crack is backing out of that one smartly. Harry Noirk going too deep, and Crack has got through as well pretty easily. Ryan B now the next one to have to go for the Ferrari. And that puts Crack very close as he gets a 3-second time penalty going wide there on the exit of Stavolo. And he's going to have to actually make a run for it now because sitting here is not going to do anything. One Red Bull on the threat. The other one is overtaken as he gets past Harry Noirk here. Before Blanchimont even arrives, Crack is going to go for a move. Not quite actually. Backs out. Waits patiently. Mats is into the pit as one of the last ones as well as Harry Noirk, and then I think it's just Swip and Ultimate left to make a stop. And that would be correct actually. So Mats onto a set of softs. Harry Noirk onto a set of softs. Swayro sets a fast lap of the race, and I imagine Swip is going to be a set of soft as well. Crack now all over the back of Kamke, and I think he's going to go for the move pretty easily. He doesn't have much ERS to use, so he's going to have to use the tires to try and get away, and potentially the lower downforce. Swolsing is getting back past MCR. Both the top 2 have now dropped Ryan B, who is now going to have to just manage his tires well enough. They can go to a set of mediums probably towards the end pretty comfortably. I imagine he'll go in at the end of lap 14, given he did 7 laps on the early stint. Do another 7, and then go 8 for mediums. I'm going to have to see if the Red Bull is thinking exactly like I am. Meantime, Crack is doing pretty well, trying to get Kamke out of his DRS, but it's not going to be easy, as Bosnia also gets a 3-second time penalty. And MCR getting through here. I think that must have been the exit of Pool, maybe getting on the curb a little bit much. But you see, if the gap is second here, it's not going to be enough, because Kamke can just use his straight line speed to cash back up to the DRS detection point, which is right before the bus stop, and you just see it. It gains about 3/10 here every time. So ideally, you need to be like 1.2, 1.3 coming out of Stavolo if you have any chance of dropping the Red Bull here if you're RT Crack at this point in time. It's not going to be easy. RT Crack does set the fastest lap of the race with a 44.4. Good lap actually. MCR now head of both Bosnia and Axel. Wants to catch Ryan B here. Put himself in a chance of a podium position. I think he's got it in him, but he's got a lot of catching still to do, 3.2 seconds, and he doesn't seem as quick on the straights as Ryan B is, just going off what I'm seeing on the Delta. Bosnia once again going very wide there, it looks like. But is he going to go back past MCR? Looks like it. Then the inside. And a pretty easy move there for the Williams. Not much hassle. Both Alpines swapping positions together. They're going to have very fresh tires right now. So MCR's got back past Bosnia somehow. Bosnia probably making a few mistakes here and there. Seems quick on the straights, but not quite enough in the corners. And Axel wants the benefit of that. And right outside here of No Name. Tags Bosnia around. The Bosnia is spun. And he's going to be down to P9, P10 here as he rejoins behind Slayer. That looked like the space given was fairly tight. I don't think it's going to be ideal. So Crack and Kamke both using their batteries fully up. Look at the gap they've got to Ryan B now. 5 seconds between the two ripples. Kamke is going to have to make sure he gets in here. Otherwise Crack could start to pull away. I think he's mistimed that. I think if Kamke uses a slight bit of ERS there, he gets in, DRS. This time out he hasn't got it, and this allows Crack to actually go have an opportunity to get away. If he gets the exit right here, compared to Kamke, and uses the ARS, which he does, Kamke's been dropped. Now Crack has the chance to go for it. Now mind you, Kamke might not bother too much about that if he sees Crack is too quick. And still has a 3-second time penalty, mind you. It's not going to be the easiest thing, or the worst thing in the world for him, because he's still gaining on MCR. But all rounds, Crack could go for the win here, and I think that's what he wants. Just not having his luck this season, maybe getting involved in a few too many incidents, or having a spin here or there, not benefiting him. So James has got past Slay here for P9. But currently it looks like he could do it, because he's got the gap already up to 2 seconds. I think the McLaren's on his way to try and get a win here. So a long way to go still. Just under 10 laps, but you could see it. In the meantime, that both the Alpines on fresher tyres, as well as Sveiros in behind, have caught up to the train for P4 currently, which is now just consisting of MCR and Axel. It looks like Matt is on a bit of a very good stint here, actually. He's actually caught Stiba and his teammates completely lacking here. It looks like Matt could go for the move here on Axel already, using the slipstream. Is he going to go for it in Blanchimont? Does he not dare? No, he backs out. Probably smart, just do it in the chicane or later. So we see Kamke going into the pit for a second stop already. Running outside here goes Matt. And giving each other plenty of space, a little bit of contact. I think Matt's fault. Axel was already cleared, it wasn't quite, but was close. Both Kamke and MCR in the pits on the same lap. And we're seeing a set of mediums for MCR, a set of mediums for Kamke. Kamke wanting to get the undercut to get back into the DRS of Crack, I'd imagine. He's now rejoining behind James. It's going to get himself involved with Slayer here, potentially. Not got much DRS to fend himself up with. So Slayer's going to run. He could go for it here. So Axel's got back past Matt. And that's a pretty smart play from Axel. We're just waiting it out. And now Matt has to try and go for it again. So allows Steven to catch back up. And Stargaz, which is probably Ryan B at this point, to get away a little bit. Let's see where Matt is going to think of making a move, because it's not that easy to overtake here. You're going to have to set it up properly, because you just get caught right here. Running outside here could be a great move though. Makes it stick as he gets himself alongside. A little bit of contact, but I don't think it's too bad. Matt getting through into P3. Good move there. It's energetic that's gone round. For No Name. Hasn't found the throttle pedal just yet. Could have been about 5 seconds off the road in that time. But alright. Yeah, Matt's making that move stick, but Axel's maintaining close proximity. Might not allow Matt to properly benefit of it, as Ryan B is now gone into the pits as well. So he did not want to double stack, so it's fair enough. He's going to set the mediums, and I think Sweros is going to do the exact same thing. Try and undercut the bunch. Kamke now 6 seconds behind Steban. Just keeps checking on the gap. It's about 20 seconds to Crack. He's going to have to find a little bit more to gain to at least get himself in a position where he can be in the DRS of, I'd say, Crack. Because otherwise it's going to be a very difficult job. MCR getting past Ryan B here. Undercut paying dividends there for the McLaren. But Ryan B is going to have to DRS to try and get back through here on the straight. And MCR doesn't have anything to defend with. Axel getting another 3 second time penalty here. Puts him up to 6 seconds now. That's going to drop him back quite a bit. So Steban has let him back through here. Potentially thinking Axel's pushed off. And if that's the case, and Steban let him back through, that's great sportsmanship there for the Alpine. In the meantime, yeah, Ryan B did get through on MCR. MCR now trying to get back through on Ryan B. So it will continue as they are going to catch Harren Ork pretty shortly. Freyros getting past Zero Killer for P11. He wants to get himself back involved in the pack for potentially top 5. I think he could do that, especially with a few penalties here and there. Meantime, Bosnia has made a pit stop, second pit stop as well. He's down at 14th. Let's see Steban potentially go for a move on Axel into the chicane. And actually there's some pit stops coming up as well, so you might just want to back out to that one for now. Axel's gone in, Steban's backed out of it. He's going to go one more lap, I'd imagine. Both are going to go at least one more lap. Both Alpines, as well as RT Crack. We could see into the pits pretty soon. So Axel, James and Slayer have all gone into the pits here. I think most are going to go into a set of softs. And that would be the case. So softs for Axel, softs for James, and softs for Slayer. And I'm back a little bit further once again. These are for roughly the P9 to P12, 13 kind of positions. With Swip having to make one more stop, as well as Harnewark, as well as the top 3 currently out on track. As we have yellow flags at the chicane, one of the Alfa Romeos, I think that's Ibo. Ibo going round, he's now pulled himself into the pits. So Axel and James fighting away. Axel, he has lost quite a bit of ground here. Potentially thinking he's had a wing change in the pits. That's just put him back a little bit further than he anticipated. Because James was not really anywhere near the Greek. And now he's right on the back of fighting him. So I'd imagine that's what happened. Potentially in the fight with Steban. Obviously I can't make any conclusions, but that's something that could have happened. Seeing Kamke in the back of Steban this time out. Is he already going to go for them Blanchon, or does he just wait? He does just wait. No spectacular overtakes here from the Red Bull. Maybe into the chicane he goes for it, but no, this time out he thinks better of it. Crack continuing from one more lap. It's going to be a very short dash at the end there for the McLaren. He's going to have to absolutely pull everything out. So Jav picked up a 3-second time penalty. I nearly forgot he was still in the race. Obviously has made 2 stops. But he's not really in any position to do anything with it right now. Matt's gone in, Harnewark has gone in, Swip has gone in, which just leaves the top 2 out of the pit. Let's see, Matt's coming out just behind Sway Ross here. But on a fresh set of sauce, he's got a long way to catch to try and make the best of it. Skamke gets past Steban here. And Kamke is going to get himself probably back in the DRS of RT Crag, and I imagine. Pits up at around 17 seconds in terms of time loss. 17 to 18. I think Crack might still be ahead, but it will be close on pit exit. Potentially on this lap, there's more time to be gained. James and Axel fighting away once again. Well, pretty clean. Axel sending it down the inside there of Malmedy. Looks once again forward in a reverse, but he's going to have to be patient and wait it out here. Meantime, Slayer quietly doing a very good job here in P11, because he's going to get a few points, I think, given the penalties up ahead. If he can stay within close enough proximity to James and Axel as well, could be a top 8 roughly finish, which would be a very good result for the Haas. Pure pace. Crack has now decided to pull into the pits. He's going to go 5 laps into another set of softs, I imagine. Yes, that is the case. First set of softs. Let's see where he comes out into relation with the Red Bull. Just close enough start-finish line now. It's going to be very close, I think. Steven's gone into the pits as well. Imagine he's doing the same thing as Crack. Kamke is ahead. Crack is about a second and a bit behind. He's going to have quite the ways to catch. He's going to have to gap him by 3 seconds. That's the goal here for RT Crack. And it's possible, but it's not going to be the easiest job in the world. See Matt on the back of Sway Ross. Wants to go for a move for P5 here to Alpine. So we're struggling through Rouge and Radion. And it's going to allow Equals Matt to go for the move pretty easily. And no harm done for Sway Ross either. He's just going to follow through. Keep him in P6. Solid drive here from the Mercedes as well. After retiring in the pits, there's Steven and Axel once again. These two fighting away, and a bit of contact there as well. Axel potentially nearly going around, and it's going to allow Bosnia Slayer to catch up as well. In the meantime, we look at the front. Crack right on the back of Cam K. He's going to have to dispose of the American very quickly and then just gap him. That's the only way he could do it. I think he's going to do it even just here, because he's so close here. He seems to be lifting up the throttle here, actually. Doesn't want to do it here, potentially. Waiting it out. Waiting it out, he is. Could be smart, given the DRS zones. But he's going to be so close in the back of Cam K. Is he going to want to do it into turn 1? No, he isn't. Smart. Oh! Misjudged himself completely there, and that could be very, very important, because if Cam K manages to keep ahead here, obviously we've established that he's got more straight line speed, then it could be very dangerous. If we have more yellow flags, Energetic has retired from the session, and we have a safety car with 3 and a bit laps to go. We're going to have 2 green flag laps of racing, so it's going to be very quick in and out. If you're far behind, that could be something to consider while pitting. Oh, Crack is going to be pissed. He's going to have to... Do you even pit? That's the question here. I think someone like Cam K could pit, given the gap. But it's a gamble. It's definitely a gamble, because you still have cars to get through. This could be interesting. Crack obviously isn't going to pit. Like, that would not be smart, I don't think, unless... I don't even know why. I think it's just best to stay out at this point. Let's just get the track position. I'd imagine the likes of Ryan BMCR could pit, but whether they want to is another question, because a lot of the guys are on fresh tires. So if you look at the likes of Matt, Steban, they're not going to pit. They're going to want to just get as close as they can to the other cars up ahead, or even get ahead of them. Now with 2 laps of green flag racing, there's a lot of things you need to consider. Oh, this could be exciting. I think up down towards turn top 13 as Kamke has decided to pit. Potentially the smartest decision he could have made. Ryan B in, MCR is going to come in. Mats is probably going to stay out, I imagine. I imagine he's going to rejoin in P2 here. No, he's gone in as well. Wow. James has decided to stay out. I think it's a relatively smart choice. I'm surprised not more have stayed out with these fresh tires that they have on the car. Hardenmark, Bosnia on the older tires, staying out. I mean, I guess you get the track position. How much of it? He's in P6. This could be very interesting, because we are going to get back to racing on this lap. I believe, anyway. It's because there have to be 2 green flag laps at the end. So imagine everyone like flip. They might struggle to catch, depending on how quickly Crack is going to take this safety car restart. So he's just going to have to go away. But at this point, Kamke's got the better tires. He's got no penalties. All he has to do is just stick in P2 and make sure no one else in behind is going to threaten him. We're going to see how this plays out. This will be very interesting. Obviously, it is only 2 laps, but 2 laps is still plenty in Spa here. Let's see. So imagine we're gonna get the message. There we go. Safety car is in this lap. I think down to, it looks like Swip, maybe Serial could just about catch up. The last three I think are kind of doomed. Let's see how this is gonna go. Crack keeping a decent pace in this safety car restart. 100 kilometers an hour, 110 roughly. It was looking very good for the Red Bulls. It's looking good for MCR. He's gonna want to go on the attack here as well. So keep an eye out on him. So Crack is being full limited a little bit here. Where is he gonna go? Circular has caught up. I'm surprised he's not gonna be that far off. Let's see. Crack just want to open up that gap as much as he can. Try and get the best result possible. Gonna wait after it, and then he's gone. Great momentum there for the McLaren. I think he's picked the right moment. Ryan B wants to go on the move here. The outside of James' head. In turn one, good move there. And MCR has gone through as well. There's old stuff not holding up whatsoever. Then to P5 he goes. You can see near the front, Kamke right on the back of Crack. I don't even think Crack's going to have much to defend with. Kamke just wants to get through. Is he going to? To the outside. So we get the most awful camera he can. Side by side down towards the com. Who's going to get the better of him? Kamke around the outside. Great move there. And he's up into P1. Ryan B, MCR now very close together. MCR down the outside here. Bit of contact there. Ryan B not quite given enough space. MCR is going to have to stick in behind for now. Matt's here on the move here as well, past Harnewak. Swayross trying to follow through, and he does exactly that. And Axel's going to get through as well. Harnewak just on those softs is just a sit and duck at this point. That's what I mean. It's so devastating to be on these kind of tires. As Swayross has dropped a position. He's gone for the grass there, and he's down to P13. Must have been a mistake there somewhere. You see, James has dropped 2 seconds to MCR. That is not even the top. Let's see. It's going to help Crack at least get a P4. Crack getting alongside. Wants to fight this. Kamke obviously doesn't. But he's going to be worried if he's going to have Ryan B and MCR on the back. So we go on to the last lap of the race. Kamke with the fastest lap of the race. MCR waiting it out. Let's see how this is going to play out on the straight. Everyone's going to dispose their battery, I'd imagine. Kamke got a very good exit though. I think he might be able to hold on here. It depends on how quickly Crack is going to get there. If Ryan B and MCR need to get side by side for a Rouge, I think. Crack is one to get that slipstream, but look how quick Kamke is just in that straight line. Not even using everything. MCR going down the inside of Ryan B. Ryan B not giving that much space either. Have to watch out with that. MCR understeering nearly into the side of Ryan B there on Malbody. Again, not able to get through. Still keep fighting, and Crack obviously has a chance. Matt's getting past Bosnia here. Matt's up for a P5 finish still. Tiring to work. Steban has gone out of the race there on the last lap of the race. Not quite sure what's happened here. Oh, he's around there on the entry of No Name. Must have been a crash. Balls being side by side, I'd imagine. That's gonna leave him with no points in this race. So that point's now probably gonna go to Jaff actually at one point. In the meantime, Kamke 6 tenths ahead of Crack. Not look like he wants to give this up whatsoever, and it not look like he can with taking the win in both the sprint and the actual race. Matt's getting through and James for last dash. MCR might try and make a move into the chicane. Wait it out. Might get the exit. Let's see. Kamke gets the race win here in Belgium with the fastest lap as Crack has gone into the wall on the left. Drops down to P4. Ryan B P2. MCR P3. With Axel dropping back for a 20-second penalty for corner cutting in one place, not giving it back. Oh my, Mats has finished P5 and Swayros, Slayer, James, Swip, Cyril, Bosnia P11, Flip P12, Harnewak, Jav and Ultimate Then Axel actually dropping out of the point so far. He'll probably get a little bit lower pin, but yeah, not quite. The way he wanted to end that, and then Ibo in 17th there. Driver of the day going to Sway Ross. I think it has to go to Cam K after that. Driven fantastically. And just, yeah. Absolutely showing why he is the leader in the championship, I think. So we head on to the race results. So just quickly show the sprint as well. With then obviously Cam K getting the fastest lap. Slayer got the fastest lap in that. But if you go into the main race results, we've seen that the fastest lap did go to Cam K, with 31 points being added to his name here today on the feature race. Ryan being second and MCR running out the podium finishing positions. Kraken P4, Matt P5, Sway Ross P6, Slayer P7, and it's James at P8, Swip in P9, Zero Color running out the top 10. And the two Williams drivers of Boston and Flip in 11th and 12th, Harnowaka 13th, Java 14th, also Musapuro in 15th, Ibo 16th, Axel down in 17th after having 29 seconds of penalties. Esteban crashing out on the last lap, and then Energetics crashing out earlier on, causing that safety car at the last death of the moment. Only two proper retirements, one will actually still be classified as Esteban. But showing less crashes all around, which is good. Good race actually, up until maybe the last bit. It was a bit chaotic, but yeah, very entertaining there. And MCR is not going to be happy, I think, even despite getting on the podium. He's lost 10 plus another 10 points, I think. So he's going to be 52 behind Cam K now, which is a long way to go should he want to try and win this championship. Obviously, we still have 4 rounds to go. Next week out in France. I'm going to see how that's going to fare out. I think if you have Verstappen. And this has been Louis D. Fury, and I'll see you next week. Goodbye.